So To anybody here, sorry for the delay right now. I'm just kind of having some technical issues right now as it pertains to anybody here, sorry for the delay. Just want to make sure the stream is live, but I just have some technical issues that I have to take care of really quick. Let's see here. Hopefully. Okay, I think we are good to go. Let's just double check, make sure we're good. Hey Tyrese, how's it going? Sorry for the delay, everybody. Again, just some technical difficulties. Yeah, hang on one second. Oh man, this is frustrating nonetheless. Alrighty, I think we are. Set. Let's just double check. Again, I do apologize. Oh man, this is starting off to be kind of a not a good stream, but hello everybody, what is going on? This is of course your boy Bernie here on the Charge, giving it to you live with the NBA news, rumors, and also basketball opinions. And today, guys, it's going to be more of a chill stream. The only reason why it's going to be more chill is because obviously my boys Brad and Logan, we wanted to talk about this G League game that happened today with Jalen Green and Jonathan Kuminga. You know, Kuminga and Brad and I are really high on this kid. I think he's going to be a tremendous player as he continues to go forward in his career. But unfortunately, he just couldn't come tonight, so we will talk about the game on Friday and really talk about the difference between Kuminga and Jalen Green, because I think today kind of showed the differences between the two. Obviously, one game for these guys. It's like their first official game, right? So it's not like this is like the end-all, be-all for them, but what I did like what I saw from Jonathan Kuminga is that he is going to be a very good player in this league. I think that he's got a lot of the tools and potential, and definitely a worthy for top 5 pick. I think whatever top 5 teams there are, you can't go wrong with any of them. But I think you can't go wrong with Cade, Jalen, or Kuminga. I think those 3 guys are kind of like my for sure locks. Evan Mobley, I still have to watch a little bit more film on him. Again, I'm not sold completely on him, but I have to watch more film. And you know, kind of going with this whole NBA draft theme, another player that we have to look at as well is someone that I know my Gonzaga friends that are going to be watching are going to be interested in, and that is, of course, Corey Kispert as kind of this, is he a top 10 pick? Is he a lottery pick? That is going to be the question at hand as it pertains to what's going to be going on from there. I didn't spell his name right. Oops, no T in there. Kispert. There we go. And then I think it should update the stream. And Tyrese, how you doing, man? I know it's been a minute. Hopefully everything is going well for you. And so, you know, again, Gabby, I do appreciate you kind of being patient with me here. So basically, you know, we're going to get started with this. Again, guys, please remember to hit that like button. Also remember to hit that subscribe button if you're new. Again, I do apologize for the late stream. This is probably going to be one of the shorter ones too, unfortunately. just due to the fact that the technical issues really upset me. There was some mic technical difficulties. I just want to make sure. Camera as well. Again, as a streamer, you do deal with this stuff, but we move on, right? That's kind of the steps that we need to take here. But like I said, the game that we're looking at today, or not really the game, there's a lot of good games, the Luka Doncic show. But like I said, we're looking at a kid that could potentially be a top 10 pick in the NBA, and that is, of course, Corey Kispert. So, like I said, without further ado, let's get right into it. And again, guys, this is Corey Kispert, Edmond, Washington. I think he went to one of our rival high school, at least when I was playing Kings, which is in a close to the Edmonds area, of course. And that was kind of like the rival school, because it was kind of like a whole little rivalry here and there. But didn't play in the same conference, of course. But actually, no, we did play in the same conference, but a rivalry nonetheless. But it's kind of crazy to think that we played against this kid, and he's doing so well, and as someone that's 6'7", 220, it's like a completely different player. But like I said, Corey Kispert definitely has shown that he has a lot of game, and we've seen from 2018 all the way to 2021, his senior year. There's been such a tremendous growth and improvement, not only for the fact that he's working now with players that are much more athletic, much more able to do things. You got guys like Drew Timme, you got Jalen Suggs, who makes it so easy for a guy like Corey Kispert to get open. And again, I think that's kind of the role that Corey Kispert is going to play. But if we kind of look at the, and if I can find it really quick, we're just going to look at kind of like the ESPN.com and looking at NCAA men's basketball, and just kind of, or I guess NBA, because that's be mock drafts, right? So if we go to the mock draft, if I can find it, there should be like a mock draft. Trying to see where this mock draft is. Draft maybe, and this is kind of 1 through 60, and this is of course what ESPN has as their top picks here. And as you can see here clearly on the list, and I'll move it over a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. Looking at number 10, for the Charlotte Hornets is Corey Kispert. And I do think that Corey Kispert would actually be a great fit there. I mean, you have a guy like LaMelo Ball who's looking to dish up assists. The question for me for that is going to be, they already have so many guards. And it's just one of those things that we're going to have to look at. But let me invite my friend Sean and all them to kind of talk about this. We're gonna talk about Corey Kispert, because, like I said, he's a tremendous player, and I do see a lot of potential and growth with him. Don't mind that. That's just some basketball stuff that I have to do tonight for my team. But let me move over and switch to account to the charge, and I know you want to see the analytics and stuff like that. Let me turn that off really quick. And let me just make sure that I just want to pull up film here. Oops, not my channel. I guess this works. We'll turn this back on now that we're here. Let's kind of look up some Corey Kispert and I really want to look up Corey Kispert from last year too. So if we go to Kispert, if I could spell it right. Sean has been summoned. He has definitely been summoned for this. We'll go to the 2019 season and just kind of look at what he's been able to do from his season. Like I said, averaging 13 points per game. This is Swish. Shout out to Swish for doing this. But let's look at the difference between last year and where he's at this year. I mean, again, smart player, able to attack and finish at a tremendous rate. And we see here Corey Kispert, great shot. Like I said, I remember playing this. I can't remember. I think it was a summer league tournament. I think when I was a senior, we played again. I think we played Kings in a summer tournament, if I can't remember correctly. But it was definitely a lot of fun. And I remember him very well, because he was kind of like the hyped up kid that was near our town. But we see here Corey Kispert, patient, not really forcing anything. That's something that I think that's gonna bode well for Kispert, because you see here that he's very patient, sees he has an open shot and takes it. And that's something that a lot of young kids can kind of take to heart, is if when you're open, you shoot that thing. I mean, you see that he's shooting from NBA range. He looked pretty good last year. Obviously this year he's like tremendously grown, and I guess the question for you, Sean, and for PM, if you're in here, is just kind of like, what's the ceiling for Kispert at this point? You know, like what do you see Kispert doing in the league? Because like I said, you know, I could see him doing a lot of things. You know, this patient basketball that I'm seeing from him. You know, all the things that he does. Like, it's just one of those things that I think I can definitely see that happening. And just so kind of just looking at the film here, again, Corey Kispert just basically making threes, man. He's one of those things, man. Able to go downhill. I think of him as a championship piece like Danny Green. I'm not saying that he could be better than Danny Green, but I do like his versatility of also being able to be a driver. And I think that his jumper, I like his jumper a lot more. I know Danny Green, you know, if this was like, if you're comparing him to like 2014 Danny Green, then I think whatever team will take him at this point is going to be very happy with him. You know, and, you know, the Charlotte Hornets are kind of rumored to pick. And again, guys, I'm going to pause it to show you the NBA mock draft that we see here. Again, Corey Kispert at number 10 right here, Gonzaga. I definitely could see him being a top 10 pick. I mean, it's hard to argue with his productivity and what he's been able to do this season. Again, guys, if we look at this stuff right here, you know, Corey Kispert every year has improved from 6.7 to 8 to 13. And even from 8 to 13 is a pretty high jump, especially for a guy like Corey Kispert. And then you see senior year, it's already almost like 20 points per game. Obviously, a lot of that has to do with Jalen Suggs, and you can't deny the fact that Jalen Suggs really does make this team go around in the way that Corey Kispert gets even more open looks than he does before. And the most important thing that I think we have to look here as well is the 3-point percentage each and every year has gone up. I mean, it is prime development. I mean, let's kind of look at the thing that I want to look at, because percentages could, you know, if you shoot 1 for 3, you're 33%, you know, it's kind of like percentages wise, but look how many they're taking so far. I mean, you know, Corey Kispert at this point has shot 114 threes, a little bit less than last year, and that's just due to the pandemic. Sorry if I hit the mic, and all this other type of stuff. So you're seeing that the production's a little bit down from him, but nevertheless, you're seeing, like I said, tremendous growth, tremendous improvement each and every year. Obviously, his freshman year is going to be much better field goal percentage, just due to the fact that, you know, he's not shooting as much. You see here, you know, he shot, I believe, you know, that's his senior year. Excuse me. So yeah, he's definitely ramped up. This has it in the opposite order that I was looking at the beginning. You definitely see the growth and development, Sean. I mean, look at the way that Corey Kispert from his freshman year was shooting maybe 5 shots a game to now his senior year shooting 12 shots a game. And like I said, Jalen Suggs definitely helps out in that category. 2-point percentage looking pretty good as well. Free throw 88% this year. You know, he's an above 80% free throw shooter, and that's something that a lot of teams are going to look at, in my opinion, as a big factor as to why they want as to why they want him on the team. I mean, you see, like I said, from the beginning at 6.7 to 19.5, but the 3-point percentage and the free throw percentage is what's going to get this kid an opportunity in the league. It's really going to get this kid to be almost a Joe Harris-esque type of player. I think he could be, obviously, you know, it's kind of a lazy comparison with the Joe Harris, but I think you said, like you said, Sean, like a specialist, a 3-point specialist, but is able to do other things as well. I mean, the reason why I compare him more to a Joe Harris is because I can definitely see him putting the ball on the ground and attacking the hoop when necessary. He's not going to be the Kyle Korver where he doesn't get anything, he just passes it off and then moving around. I looked at Danny Green, Kispert way more valuable than him. So I think he's going to be more of a Joe Harris, like a developed Joe Harris, right? One that's for the Brooklyn Nets from last year's team. And the thing I like about him, like I said, is the fact that he's able to, one, be a better free throw shooter, and two, just the fact that he's able to put it on the ground and actually, you know, finish around the rim. Not saying that he's going to do it every time, not saying that he is the best at doing it, but he's capable and he's able to, you know, move around and finish around the rim. And that's something, when it comes to shooters, that's something that you need. And so, like I said, you know, Corey Kispert each and every year has gotten better. Scoring efficiency has gone up. Yeah, definitely a bigger frame as well. A lot stronger, chunkier meaning stronger for me, for Corey Kispert. So like I said, you know, we looked at last year's highlights, kind of what he's been able to do now. And let's look at Corey Kispert as he ties the 3-point record for Gonzaga. Yes, this is early in the season, but look at the way that they're able to do everything. Obviously with Texas, I mean, we see here Corey Kispert getting highlighted here. Quick jumper too. I mean, that's something that you notice here. Like, look how quick the jumper is, and I think it's improved from last year as well. It looks a lot smoother, looks quicker, able to put it on the rock. And this is Virginia at the time when they were, ranked 16. Good basketball IQ too. Not going to be like I'm going to hold it here and I'm nervous as hell. What do I do with it? Because in the NBA, the thing is that everybody's now going to be his height. Everybody's now going to be his strength level. Now it's about, can he get over the hump? How quick is his jumper going to be? I mean, look at this jumper right here. And again, like, I'm not asking, and again, I think, Sean, you're also, in the same boat as me. It's like, you're not asking Corey Kispert to be you're not asking him to be this sort of like special player that's going to make plays happen. Like, this dude has a specific role, and I think he's going to do the role very well. I mean, like I said, we look at kind of the teams that are in this here, in this kind of draft lottery that we're at right now. You got Minnesota at number 1. They obviously need a point guard. Cleveland, I'm not necessarily sure they need a big at this point. But they're definitely, Evan Mobley, one of the top 4 players in the draft so far. Like I said, I have to watch film on him. Then he moved to the New York Knicks. Jalen Green, probably going to be taken there. I probably would go Jalen Suggs in my opinion, but I can understand why people are intrigued by that. Again, a LaMelo Ball Kispert lineup would definitely be filthy, Sean. Coming off screens, we'll see what Charlotte does in the free agency. But again, honestly, I would love to see him with Tyrese Halliburton and De'Aaron Fox, especially that small forward role. Kind of if the Sacramento Kings are going to look at this as, okay, we're not going to pay Buddy Hield, we're going to get Corey Kispert instead. I could see that as a potential thing for the Sacramento Kings as well. Oklahoma City, they definitely need another kind of small forward like slasher, and so they won't take him. Chicago, I could see them taking him, but I think the Keon Johnson thing, it's a little interesting for me. Kai Jones, not really sold on him. I could definitely see him maybe going to Houston if he falls that low. I don't think he will. The Pelicans could definitely use him. I think the Pelicans are in need of that. I know that they want to go with the center, but the problem with the center is that you already have Steven Adams locked in. You're already kind of in the small ball lineup anyway. Jalen Suggs behind Green. I mean, that's just kind of, and the reason why for that, Sean, is because I think everybody's intrigued with what Jalen Green can do. From what I saw, without spoiling anything, because I know me and Brad are going to discuss this on Friday, the whole G League Ignite game that I watched, able to rewatch it. I was only able to watch the fourth quarter at the beginning, and then I rewatched the whole thing afterwards. The one thing I'll tell you, Sean, is these players are for real, and especially the player that I'm looking at. And I don't want to spoil anything. I think I already talked about it in my preview video for today's stream. I definitely like Kuminga a lot. I think Kuminga should definitely go a little bit higher than Jalen Green. I would honestly go Suggs, Kuminga, and then Green, if that was that order. Because I know that Evan Mobley, I just think the intrigue of a 7-footer that's able to put the ball on the floor, be able to do a lot of different things. That's the reason why you see an Evan Mobley up there. But like I said, Jalen Suggs should definitely be up on the list, and I think Kuminga and Suggs is going to be the next 1-2, and then you have Jalen Green at the bottom. Not saying that Jalen Green's a bad player. It's just I didn't see much from him today, but we will obviously get a look at it on Friday with me and my boy Brad just talking about it. I think Logan will be there as well, so we'll talk about it. We'll see what's going on with that game, because like I said, it is a very fun watch. If you guys have Xfinity, or if you guys have whatever cable company, Fubo, whatever it is, if you sign in through ESPN, you're able to rewatch that game, and you definitely see definitely a great player in that aspect. So that's kind of my opinion on that. But like I said, we'll leave that definitely for the stream on Friday in terms of talking about that. But kind of moving back to Kispert again, like we look at what Kispert's able to do. Again, great free throw shooter. That's something that has to be kind of repeated about Corey Kispert. The dude is able to come off screens. They're doing this little pistol action. Boom. You see this little pistol action right here. This is something I really like. Basically, a pistol action is just a 3-man game between Suggs. I can't remember who number 3 is, and then Kispert. And basically, these two are just going to play together. They're going to feed off each other. Like if Kispert sets him a screen, or if there's going to, kind of do a slip and then kind of do a slip. I mean, look at this slip right here. This is such a great slip. And this is like me going, with the coach's eye right here. I mean, look at this perfect slip. Both these guys commit to Jalen Suggs because he's such a threat of attacking the rim that Kispert does a great job of slipping, which means that he's not going to set the screen. He's just immediately going to cut to the top of the key, shoot the rock, and you see here, bang, makes the jumper. And the jumper looks so smooth. That is something that is textbook. And you're seeing like what he's able to do, man. Like that is something that is unteachable. Trademark is how they pad the screen and perform slips. Players' trademark is how well they set the screens and perform slips. Yeah. I mean, that you guys have definitely gotten away from the 2 big man system that you had a couple years back where you were running this kind of continuity ball screen action with both the bigs. You're definitely running a different set. I mean, we see that for our basketball team that we ran last year, that was like our main offense, was the Gonzaga offense with the 2 bigs, basically kind of going from slot to slot. So slot to slot, meaning this line, and these 2 bigs would kind of play off each other, with one big raising up. Then you have a 2-man game on the other side. But I do like this. And like I said, I do like this 3-man game. Obviously, you have the big over here, and then you have the guy in the corner way over here that's not even in the frame. But like I said, the reason why I like this action so much is because you can basically set up number 3, or you can set up Kispert, which, obviously Kispert was the matchup. Because you have such a dominant point guard in Jalen Suggs, he's able to command such attention. Again, gets the 2 guys, gets it, and then boom, is able to shoot it. It's going to be fun watching Kispert in the NBA when you're putting up 33s in a game. I mean, that's the thing. College is very restrictive. It's very small. It's narrow. But once you move to the NBA, the court's like this big. You're able to move around. Obviously, the 3-point line is a little bit smaller, but you're able to move around. You're able to kind of do different things. And, man, it is awesome to see that a guy like Corey Kispert was able to work his butt off to get to the point where he's going to be He's in contention for not only just a lottery pick, but top 10. I mean, you got to be a special player if that's the case. I mean, like I said, Corey Kispert is that special when you watch him play. Last year I was like, what's the next level? What's his ceiling? What can he do? He definitely took it to another level this season. Not to be a Kispert like stan over here. Again, another 2-man game. Again, guys, perfect pistol action right here. I'm going to sound like a coach. I'm going to literally talk about this. So, in this pistol set action, again, guys, the 3-man game with Jalen Suggs, number 3, and Corey Kispert. Look at how number 3 sets him up so well for a back screen that he's able to get a flare, open shot, quick jumper. Again, maybe not the most accurate with the way that the ball rimmed, but still a great shot nonetheless. Then we see here another 2-man game with Jalen Suggs. Boom. Kind of a double screen, and then he's able to kind of kick out and find the corner. I think that was a bank, if I'm not mistaken. I think this was from... Wow, it fooled my eyes. It was not a bank. I need to get my eyes checked. But again, we see here, because they commit so much to Jalen Suggs on this... I mean, see here, again, bad communication here, because once this dude, number 22, slips, well, it's more like a quick screen then go. Kind of like a ghost, as that we call it, just kind of like basically set the screen, then kind of fill in. And you see here that this guy has to decide, okay, am I going to go to Kispert, who's going to probably find himself at the 3-point line, or am I going to stay with number 22? I'm going to stay with Kispert, and then number 22 has a free roll to the rim, and that's a basket. And then again, Kispert with such a quick release, able to get it off, probably in I think that's like 0.5 seconds. That he's able to get that jump shot off, boom, hits it, able to make it. And again, you're going to see Kispert hit a lot of these from that action where it's like, okay, especially the pistol set. I mean, here, more so, boom, NBA range. He's got NBA range already. This kid's amazing. This kid is so good. I love watching him play. Again, you're going to see him again, they commit too much to number 11. They try to trap it for number. They try to trap it to. I think this is Ayayi. I think this is Ayayi. They try to trap him, and then basically number. I guess the big fella again gets caught in this sort of no man's land where basically he's basically in a pickle here, as you can tell from this guy's reaction. He could basically either say, all right, screw it, I'm going to stay with Drew Timme. I think this is Timme number 22. Or he can decide to say, all right, I'm going to stay with Kispert. And again, he committed way too far, and Ayayi makes the smart skip ahead pass to Kispert. Is able to finish around the rim. I mean, that's the thing that you're going to see from a guy like Corey Kispert in the NBA. Not saying that he's going to be successful at driving, but the point is that because he drives, it allows the defense to collapse, and then you're able to kick it out one more time. Sorry again for hitting the mic. The mic is so in front of my face. But, kick it out to the other guy, and then, you kind of make the defense chase around, and then you'll get a great shot out of it from your better playmakers in terms of shooting it from the outside, able to score in around the rim. The more athletic guys that are able to, like I said, dunk on people and able to kind of cut to the rim. So you're definitely going to see that, but definitely a great take by Corey Kispert in that action. Again, set him one. Not sure, number 30, kind of has to decide who to guard here. I mean, or sorry, not number 30, but you get the entry pass. Number 13 now has him, and you're going to see a great setup by Jalen Suggs here to screen his guy. Again, another like 3-man action off the other side. I mean, this is something that you're looking for as it pertains to a big. Like a bigs that are able to kind of be able to make those great skip passes as well. Drew Timme is definitely on there, and I think number 22. I know you guys are not a big fan of him, but look at this action. Sets the screen, gets Kispert open, and just that little bit of space. Like that's the thing with Kispert too. He doesn't need to be booty naked wide open, but he's already in his shot, loaded up, and this guy's already too late. Boom, goes in. And this is Virginia too. This isn't some scrub team, like the Pepperdines or whatever schools. No disrespect to players from Pepperdine, but in terms of like NBA prospects, I just want Watson to convert a little weight to muscle. I mean, you'll see it soon. You'll see it probably in the next couple of years. I think he's probably going to be a 4-year player. I'm not sure how old he is, but I definitely could see it. Again, like I said, Kispert's shot is so quick, it's so fluid, and this would definitely be the one guy that you just want to say, like, you better make sure you don't give up those shots to that kid. Not sure why they included that in the highlight, but okay. Again, a nice shovelhead pass. This is another 2-man game. You're going to see here that Timme is going to set a screen. It allows to see what happens when you run that little 3-man game. Everybody's kind of up in front. Jalen Suggs is such a threat. You're going to see everybody kind of go to him, make sure that he doesn't get off that pick and roll and go to the basket. And then Kispert reaps the reward with a nice behind, like a nice little pivot pass back to him from NBA logo range. Boom. Knocks it down. I mean, that's the thing that you're going to have to get. That's the thing you're going to get with Corey Kispert. The fact that they're able to kind of perform this action again. We're going to see here what he does. Kispert down low. Timme going to set him a screen. Off the dribble drive. Bang, finishes around the rim. Great finish. Again, Kispert, number 2, and Drew Timme going to play this 3-man action. Again, look at this. Great action here. I mean, look at. I just want to say one thing. Every shooter is going to appreciate a big man like Drew Timme. The dribble handoff in this pistol action, right? You get here, you get number 3, a screen. It's almost kind of like a double. And then again, Kispert relocating. Here again, we'll watch it. So you're going to see here that this is going to start with Kispert setting a screen. Well, a half-ass screen. Number 3 gets the ball off the dribble drive because he sees that he's able to attack. You're going to see here that everybody is basically committed And then this guy down here, Timmy understands like, okay, I'm going to get Kispert the ball because I already understand I'm not going to get this on the roll. This guy's covering the roll so well. This guy's covering it so well. I'm just going to set Kispert a screen and boom. Only needs a little bit of space and able to knock it down. And again, guys, like that, those are the things that you get from a guy like Corey Kispert. That is the reason why Corey Kispert is so successful right now, is because of that little 3-man pistol action that the NBA runs at nauseum, dude. The NBA runs, like the thing with Kispert and the thing that you're going to find out about him is that the NBA runs those same type of actions for these type of players. That's something that has been happening since probably 2011. That sort of pistol action with the 5 out. And you see Kispert relocating, doing a lot of different things. And you see how he's able to get open off those actions, right? Allows a lot of congestion in there. Basically you make the read off your guys. Like I said, one time it could be a back screen. The other time you could set a screen and maybe you see that you set him a screen, then you slip to the basket. Or, you kind of go into a space of area and you kind of drift over into that area. And so, I mean, I think Corey Kispert's the real deal, man. I really like his game. I think he's very impressive. And I really admire the way that the Gonzaga Bulldogs play. I mean, they've changed their offense to kind of fit Jalen Suggs, to fit Drew Timme, to fit Corey Kispert. Basically, your three. Well, maybe Kispert's not the best player. I don't even know. Basically, it's going to be Corey Kispert, Jalen Suggs, and a big. And you're just going to have to play off those type of actions. Again, you can play off the guard as well. You guys have some great guards. I think you have the kid from Florida that I don't remember his name, which is going to irk me. But again, another guy with action, from some of the coaches that I work with, he has some inside knowledge on how the Gonzaga Bulldogs practices are. And they're basically saying that it is a competitive practice. Like they basically go at it. It's like almost having like two NBA teams going at it in practice. And that's something that you can't replicate at all, even with your bench players, even with your players that are backups. Like you're just going to have to deal with it. And man, again, Corey Kispert playing so well. Jalen Suggs playing really well. And, Mark Fuse definitely has a great system and has made the Bulldogs of Gonzaga a powerhouse team. And I hope that they are able to, I'm not sure if they're going to move conferences or what their plans are for better competition. I know that the conference that they're in allows them to play other teams, so they're not strictly playing like the Pepperdines or the San Franciscos or the St. Mary's or even the Portland. I know Portland's a D1 school, but it's just, do you really want to play those guys? That's no disrespect to them. Santa Clara as well in that same boat. They're having some good seasons. St. Mary's 2-3 in the conference, but yeah, I think the WCC will definitely bend to your will, Sean. They're like, all right, Gonzaga's making so much money, and they will lose all the benefits. I mean, like you said, the other teams would definitely lose that money that Gonzaga brings in by playing the Baylors, playing the Texas, and whatever other schools that you guys play that are powerhouse conferences. Would love to see a Duke and Kentucky game with you guys right now. Obviously, Duke and Kentucky aren't so good at the moment, but especially at the beginning of the season, would have been a lot more fun. To kind of rub it in their faces. I'm sure that those teams were scared to play you. That's just because of the fact they have so many good players, so many seniors, and now your teams are starting to have. The thing with the Gonzaga Bulldogs is that's different from this year than a couple years back is just you finally have depth on the bench, right? It's not like you have the 5 guys out there, and if one of those guys comes out, there's a lack of like level of play. And so, like I said, this is definitely a fun team to watch. I love watching their offense. Like I said, that pistol action that they run, perfect to perfection. And again, this was the action that I really loved right here. Not this one. I think it's the next play. Again, I love watching this type of basketball right here because you see this action, right? A 3-man game with Drew Timme at the top, basically your trail big man, being a threat if he can. I'm not sure if he can shoot or not. I haven't really looked at his stats. I haven't watched that many Gonzaga games, to be honest with you guys. I've watched some, but I haven't watched a lot. But you see here with like a guy like Corey Kispert and Drew Timme, you go with the dribble handoff. This guy's trying to fight over his screen, trying to stop this guy from getting a catch, but doesn't. And you see here that he's trying to blow it up, but Timmy sets a great screen here that allows this big man to be like, oh shoot, this guy's gonna get beat off of it, gonna get beat off the screen, and then again, you have these two guys chasing, trying to find like this guy. I don't even know what number 3 was doing on this roll here. I mean, I don't know, 13. Sorry, excuse me. I mean, we see here 13 chasing and not saying, okay, I'm gonna switch to Timmy, or I'm gonna guard Kispert, and you're gonna have to get, and this small dude right here is gonna have to get Drew, and that would have been so much better. But we see here that, like I said, Kispert realizes that this guy's in the way, so he's not gonna set a screen for him, he's not gonna roll to the basket because he understands that he's not gonna get open on this roll. So he does the smart thing, sets a screen for Kispert, and boom, hits a 3. I mean that. I don't know how you can hate on that offense. I don't know how you can hate on the way that they're playing right now. I mean, this team is playing some beautiful basketball, and I have to give credit to this team. Like, something that I didn't really, beginning of the season, I was like, Corey Kispert, I remember him from high school. He looked like a solid player. Let's see how he does at Gonzaga. And I just think that playing with all these guys that they've been playing with, it has raised his level to a level of competition that is very, I would say, intuitive to him being a top 10 pick. And man, it's hard to argue that he is not a top 10 pick at this point. I understand that you have guys that we haven't seen yet in the G League that are playing right now. They're going to play about, I think, 80 something games, maybe 30 something games. I can't remember how many games they're going to play. But you're definitely going to see an improvement from here on out. And again, this is our main story because, like I said, Kispert is such a great shooter. The way that he plays, the way that he's, like Mark Fuse has run the offense around basically Suggs, him, and Timmy at this point, with the Yai and the other guys being also helpful as well. But basically you get your 3 guys the ball in situations that favor them. And so, when we watch other highlights, when we go to more of a Jalen Suggs highlight, I'll even show you like, okay, the reason why they did this is because they don't want Kispert to shoot the 3s. And man, there's a reason why Kispert at this point is shooting 48% from 3-point land. Like, we're talking 48%. I know that they've only played 19 games compared to the 33 games. And 19 is a small sample size, but man, you cannot be, I would say you can't knock or you can't fault the way that Kispert's shooting. I mean, he's still shooting, like I said, 2 more times than he did last season, and his numbers and his averages are higher. 56% from the floor. Almost a 10% increase from last year when he was shooting 47, which is still a good number for a guard in college. But man, he's shooting at an elite level right now. And you're seeing so many actions, and Gonzaga is doing such a good job of getting those guys involved that, man, it is hard to fault. It's hard to, get... it's hard to fault Gonzaga for being the favorites of this tournament the way that they did. And Kispert stock. I mean, Kispert, like I said, Kispert, you probably should get a Kispert jersey, Sean, since you are an OG Gonzaga dude. And I think he was there your final year, if I'm not mistaken. He might have been there maybe your junior year, but definitely, I believe, your final year, or maybe it was the year after you graduate. I can't remember. But he was definitely... Like I said, he's been here for a long time, 4 years. Mark Fuse has really invested in this kid. And you're seeing the investment and the growth and the maturation of Corey Kispert pay off with the way that he's playing right now. And again, we have to give credit to Jalen Suggs because Jalen Suggs creates the offense for him and makes it a lot easier. But man, I think Kispert's ready for the NBA. There were some questions about, is he an NBA player? Is he not an NBA player? But man, it's hard to say that he's not at least a top 15. And that's just being safe. Like, top 15 is safe. I think from the way I see, he's top 12. He's definitely one of those players that if he goes to Charlotte, if he goes to these places that need that 3-point shooter, that need a guy that can come off those pistol actions, off a 5-out, basically spread offense, I think that he's able to do. And the NBA just allows that action to happen so often. And I don't think it's going to be that much of an adjustment. And, the 3-point line has already been extended for college. I could see him doing a tremendous job in the future from here on out. But like I said, guys, this kid, so good. Love watching him play. Love seeing him, grow and develop. And like I said, like, this kid is going to be the real deal when he goes into the NBA. And then let's kind of move on to our next story of the day. And this will kind of be the final one as I do have a meeting. So again, guys, unfortunate that the stream setup wasn't going on right now. But let us go to here. This is what I wanted to find here. And this is, of course, coming from Adrian Wojnarowski. And this story pertains to the All-Star Dunk Contest. And that is, of course, that the NBA is progressing on a plan to incorporate the slam dunk competition into halftime of the All-Star game on March 7th at State Farm Arena in Atlanta, sources tell ESPN. The three-point shootout, the skills competitions are also expected to be part of the Sunday night event as well, sources say. The NBA and the NBAPA have expected to finalize formal details and announcement of the All-Star Game format, health and safety protocols later this week, sources say. The league and the union have been working through details of a scaled-down evening that centers around transporting players in and out of Atlanta in a significant shorter window than that would be required on a typical expanded All-Star weekend. Players are expected to arrive in private planes on Saturday and stay in private accommodations away from hotel crowds and leave immediately after the game on Sunday night, sources say. And the one thing that I will say about this is that I'm not necessarily sure what this means for the dunk contest. You know, the dunk contest hasn't been relevant in the last couple of years. I understand Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon have had tremendous battles. But really, we haven't seen that excitement from the dunk contest in God knows how long. I mean, it's been so long since we saw a great dunk contest that I'm not sure if this is going to be it as well. I mean, you have it at the halftime. Does that mean everyone only gets one dunk? How long is the halftime? Because, I mean, look, if you're trying to get in and get out, this is one of those things that you're just going to have to say, all right, we're going to... I think he's probably going to participate. I'm not sure who the participants are, just because they have to still formalize the agreement. But I'm not sure what this means for the All-Star game. Does that mean that it's going to be like, I don't know, 1 minute? Or sorry, not 1 minute, but one dunk per attempt? Does that mean that there's not going to be 2 rounds? There's going to be 1 round? Like, who's going to be involved? Is it between 1? Is it between 2? Like, how many players is it between? Who's going to be involved in the action? And it's just one of those things that I'm not sure that this is necessarily the right move. Like, I get that you're trying to eliminate more time in the arena with fans around the arena where anybody could get COVID and anybody could get you sick. But man, I just don't see that this dunk contest during halftime, like, you know, these players are trying to play the game and get out. You know, LeBron James will get motivated somehow, some way. But to be honest with you, like, I don't see this sort of excitement or sort of action that I think that the NBA is looking for as it pertains to, you know, a guy like, you know, does Giannis get involved? Like you said, you know, John Morant and Zion, you know, these are young kids that obviously are going to play the game. They're going to play the game hard, but maybe this is the year that LeBron James wanted to do the dunk contest. Like, maybe this is his opportunity because you only get one attempt. And, you know, when you only get one attempt or one round, I should say, you know, every dunk matters. So as long as you do a safe dunk, that's good, then I think people are going to be okay with it. But again, at the same time, what I do find frustrating, in my opinion, is the fact that you're trying to have it at halftime when I don't think anybody's going to be paying attention. I think everybody's going to kind of ignore it. I don't think anybody's really going to pay attention and give it no mind. And that's kind of the reality of it, in my opinion. I think that this is not a good idea. I think that they should definitely have a different idea as it pertains to getting this stuff involved. But at the end of the day, it's up to the NBA and what they decide to do. I just don't think it's a great idea, in my opinion. And let me know in the comment section down below, guys, like, what do you make of this story? You know, we definitely have some stuff to talk about in the near future as it pertains to it. We'll go to the NBA, kind of real GM really quick and see if there's any stories. You know, we'll talk about the Utah Jazz a little bit later because I think that is a very interesting story. We've got, you know, LeBron James early MVP. We got the Mavericks and the national anthem. Now they're going to have to play the national anthem. That's kind of an interesting thing. Just because of the fact that, you know, it's like you did it and then you don't do it now. It's like, you know, it's whatever. You know, it's all for show, in my opinion. It's not, they don't really believe in that stuff. And that's my opinion again, guys. Like, I really don't think that Mark Cuban really cares that much. I just think he does it to appease his play. Like, hey, I think he does it to appease one side. And then as soon as the NBA says something else, then he's like, okay, all right, I'm out. And you know, his famous, like, what show is he part of? Like the the one where he's sitting with all these billionaires and they invest into it and for those things, and he's like, for that reason I'm out. Like that's Mark Cuban in my opinion. But again, guys, that's just again my opinion on that stuff. But the Knicks believe that they still have interest in Victor Oladipo. We know that Victor Oladipo would be interesting player for them. Again, Zach Lowe, not necessarily a big fan of his. I think that he is a little bit overrated as a ESPN kind of reporter, whatever you want to call him, analyst, basketball analyst, if you want to call him that too. Again, I'm just some dude with a mic. And so, like, you know, could I see that happening? Maybe, but at the same time, you know, I just don't think that Victor Oladipo and the Knicks is kind of what, you know, I don't think that that's necessarily it at this point. You know, we've seen so many speculations. Oh, Kevin Durant's going to the Knicks. Oh, Kyrie Irving's going to the Knicks. They're both going to the Knicks. And then all of a sudden it's like, what if we stay in Brooklyn? And then again, that, you know, it's like the whole, they make the pictures of Zion, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving in those jerseys. And then you kind of see the situation that you see now. And it's just one of those things that at the end of the day, I don't know if the Knicks really have that much to offer in terms of, okay, we're gonna get you into this situation at hand. But, you know, like I said, I could be wrong in that. Let me know for my New York Knickerbocker fans, like, am I right on that? Am I wrong on that? And at the end of the day, we'll see what happens, because it will be an interesting situation to watch as it pertains to, you know, where Victor Oladipo goes in the future. You know, he comes off a big knee injury, then he goes plays with the Pacers, and you kind of see him sort of in this limbo state where it's like, okay, is he going to stay in Houston? Is he going to leave Houston? And that's going to lead to more conversations of, okay, you know, do we get rid of Victor Oladipo? Do we keep him in Houston? Or do we ship him off? Or do we just let him sign somewhere else and just kind of get him off the books? When do top recruits usually commit? They usually commit, if I'm not mistaken, you know, I think signing, let me look up when NBA signed it, if I can spell right. I think first Wednesday of February. So that would be today? No, it would be Wednesday. Wednesday is when it would be. So I don't think Chet Holmgren has said anything yet, Sean, if you're looking for Chet Holmgren news. You know, we just see here from 27 Sports that it looks like Gonzaga is going to be kind of the player that they want. Obviously, Chet Holmgren has a lot of places to decide. And again, like they can just decide, like, to be honest with you, Sean, I think it's just for, I'm trying to think of the right word. It's for like signing in terms of like, I'm trying to think what the right word is. It's like for scholarship, right? You know, but I think Chet Holmgren is well off to where I don't think he has to deal with that, but I think he wants to make the right decision. And, you know, we obviously have, you know, news that it looks like it's growing closer to Gonzaga, and this, of course, coming from the crystal ball from 24/7 Sports. You know, number one prospect in the class, has impressed with the senior year season play. 7-footer out of Minnesota, now has 7 predictions, and 7 of them are Gonzaga. The predictions have spanned over the 6 weeks of this year. More good news from Gonzaga is that crystal ball's Hunter Salas, number 6 prospect. And the later of the 3 Gonzaga would land Holmgren and Salas. Gonzaga would have the number 5 ranked class in the 27/4 Sports completed team rankings. As it stands now, the 4-star player Caden Perry is currently a sole member of the Gonzaga recruiting class. I mean, and I think that you guys will look. You guys might get him. I mean, let's look at the comments, making sure that there's. To read this article and more, subscribe now. Yeah, no, we're good. I'm not subscribing. And again, you know, like I said, Chet Holmgren, you know, predictions, everything looks like it's going to get closer and closer to Gonzaga. That's what everybody's predicting from the lead experts, and, you know, kind of what everyone's going to decide, that he's going to go down that path. But, you know, at the end of the day, we'll see what happens with Chet. I think Chet, if he really wants to be a great basketball player, I think he should go there. It would be interesting to see what they would do with him. In terms of like what action would they do? Would they do their continuity ball screen stuff? Would they do more of a kind of 5 spread out offense and just kind of do, like I said, that pistol combination, or some sort of form of the 5 out where you're able to, you know, have a big man and your best guard just kind of team up together and kind of do some things damage wise. So again, you know, this is kind of the there's kind of the class at the moment. We see that Paulo's number 3. He was number 2. He signed to Duke. Looks like Jaden Hardy is going to be a professional. That's 50-50. now it looks like the experts are leading towards him going to be a G League player. These are some great teams that have listed him as a commit. And we'll see what happens there. And if you're trying to look at Solace, I can't remember what number he was. He said he was number 6, right? No. Hunter Solace, yeah, number 6. Here we go. I mean, this one is probably the tightest race. I mean, not to make it seem like it's like a, freaking political show where I'm showing you the graph of like the, of the state, and I'm showing you like, 46% here, like this, like that. But Hunter Salas, there hasn't been that much rumors about where he's going to go. You saw here that he hasn't really taken an official visit. I can look up on Hunter Salas in terms of ESPN and see what they say about him. Trying to see here if they said anything player profile wise. He's got a lot of offers undeclared at this point. Gonzaga, Oregon, Ole Miss. Crazy to think that Ole Miss is kind of a basketball recruiting right now. Salas is going to decide what school he's going to go to. I mean, that's kind of the thing at the moment. We see here Hunter Salas looking at here. He's going to announce it March 26th, Sean. So you're going to have to wait until March 26th. And I think you're going to see a little bit of, honestly, I could see Salas, reaching out to Chet and see if he's going. And, that might be like the start of a friendship, start of a, I would say, kind of a beautiful friendship. March 26th marking that. Yeah. So it looks like March 26th is when he's doing it. So he has trimmed to his 8 schools, obviously Gonzaga, Creighton, Iowa State, Kansas, Kentucky, North Carolina, Oregon, and UCLA. And I think the big one that you're going to have to look at for that one, Sean, is obviously Kentucky. I think Kentucky, as much as we think that they're not the best anymore, as much as we think that, Duke isn't the best anymore, they're still able to land those type of recruits. And we'll see. I mean, if Salas is able to go to Gonzaga, this would probably be the best class that Gonzaga has ever gotten. And it all stems from you guys being able to kind of build a program and build a culture. And, as much as I, just because I'm a Utah guy and I just troll the Gonzaga guys just because that's my job, it's just kind of one of those things at the moment. But, the crystal ball is saying that he will be going to Gonzaga. That's kind of the, at the moment, rumors. But let's look at Chet Holmgren really quick and just kind of look at, see if there's any news on him. I don't think there's any news. Gonzaga's growing it, opens up about his competitive mentally. People calling him the next superstar. I mean, we'll see about that. Still very raw, in my opinion. Needs to work on it. And it's just kind of one of those things that you're going to have to look at. It would have been nice to see if Paula would have went to your school, Sean. I think Paula would have been a beast. I think he would have been a tremendous player for you guys, but at the end of the day, we'll see what happens. But again, Hunter Salas going to be doing his thing. And then we look at Paulo right now, looking like already he's already beefed up too. It's not like he's like he's not the skinny guy that he once was, but man, it is crazy to see that he is, committed to Duke. When I think that he should have committed to either Gonzaga or I think he should have really committed to Gonzaga. I think he would have enjoyed it more. But, I'm sure his family wants him to go to, when Coach K comes calling, it's like you can't say no. And I think LeBron James has kind of said that himself. But anyway, guys, that is going to do it here for the stream. Thank you once again for joining me here on The Charge, giving the latest NBA news and rumors and basketball opinions. Again, guys, today was the major talking point for Corey Kispert. Do we think that he is a top 10 player? Do you not think that he's a top 10 player? Those are kind of the things that we talked about. We also went into the dunk contest. Do we agree with it being there? I'll catch you later, Sean. Do we think that the dunk contest should be at the halftime? Should it not be at the halftime? That's kind of the biggest question mark, in my opinion, as it pertains to, what's the situation at hand. Also, we talked about here, kind of Chet Holmgren, Hunter Salas, and Paulo Blanchero, seeing where they're going to go. Obviously, Paulo's going to Duke, but now at the end of the day, it comes down to a couple of kids. I don't know if Patrick Baldwin has committed yet, but that's kind of like what people are saying, that he's going to go Patrick Baldwin Jr. I know that he's kind of a big one. Chet Holmgren, another player that people are looking at just because of the potential. Jaden Hardy also hasn't committed. I mean, there's a lot of guys that have not committed at this point. Michael Foster going pro. You got a lot of like Duke guys, you got a lot of Kentucky, maybe not the top Kentucky recruits that everyone was thinking about, but at the end of the day, you got like top 5 players. I mean, you got Manny Obasaki going to Texas, or sorry, yeah, Texas A&M, because he is from the Texas area. You got Benny Williams. I'm not sure if Zaire Williams is anywhere near this list. I could check here. Or sorry, Zaire Wade, not Zaire Williams. Seeing where he might go. Zaire Wade, he's got 8 teams looking at him. Looks like TCU might be a commit. Kind of a 3-star at this point. I know that he's going to a prep academy. That's kind of what his thing is. And again, guys, we'll talk about all these guys. We'll see what their future holds. But again, these are the type of players that we look at and see like, okay, who's going to perform? Who's going to, battle it out? But again, guys, this is kind of, like I said, it's a crapshoot. You never know, what these players are going to do, like how they're going to develop. There's so many things that go into it. And I think that Mark Few is one of those coaches that and Coach K and Mark Few and, sometimes Calipari. I think Calipari can be a little, unlikable at times, but I know that Drake's a big Kentucky fan, so can't hate on them too much. But anyway, guys, like I said, my name is Bernie. Thank you once again for joining me here on The Charge, giving the latest NBA news and rumors and also basketball opinions. Do appreciate each and every one of you for joining me here. We'll catch you on the next stream, which will be probably Friday, because tomorrow we'll probably do a video just because I will be out with basketball practice. I might do a late night live stream, but definitely not one at the 4:30 mark that I usually do. But anyway, guys, like I said, my name is Bernie. Thank you once again for joining, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.